Good day and salutations, everyone.
Who are you and where's my DM?
What? Welcome back to another episode of Together a Roll. I'm already confused. That was a record. Actually, no, honestly. It's just
I don't think it was a record.
Yeah, it's a constant state. Confusion.
Oh.
Welcome back.
I was implying that you were too pleasant, and that made you suspicious.
Ah. Yeah, I have been camera shy, haven't I?
It's the cocaine.
Don't tell them my secret.
That's how you stay awake to write all these stories for so long.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Who has enough hours in the world? I mean,
we're all in quarantine, so...
So let's see. If it took you 3 hours to write what you were working on, and the average cocaine bump is about 20 minutes.
Why are you doing this? No one asked you to make the math. Better question. Why do you know this?
That's what I was thinking. It's like,
I went to public school.
that is fair.
They tell you the average bump time?
If you're friends with the kids who do it.
Nathan, you went to Yorba Linda High School. You
I didn't ask those questions.
Yeah,
Well, then you
Okay,
neglected
sorry,
your
let
public
me
school
rephrase.
education.
I was popular at public school.
hey, welcome to Together.
D&D, welcome to D&D. Hi, everyone.
Let's talk about drugs.
No.
No. Please don't demonetize us.
We've never been monetized. Come
Can't
on.
be.
We're talking about disembowelment and the
Okay,
light
he's put
subject.
us on 2 different drug trips. I'm not the problem here.
Fair.
So,
Enabler.
Wow.
back to
Yeah,
our sponsors.
Uncensored and uncut.
Yes, back to the
You
sponsors.
wanted me to participate more in the intro.
That-
This is what you wanted.
Yes,
Ah,
you bought the ticket. You're on the ride.
yes. Because we're thinking about you.
This is for your entertainment.
Speaking of which, to the transition of the awesome art that we have for our characters, Corinne Milne.
Thank you, Corinne. Yes, I know it feels like it's taking forever probably for you guys because you only get to see one episode a week.
20 minutes at a time.
And but trust me, it takes a lot of hours of work. Number one, for her to do it. She's doing it out of the love for us to do it. So
She puts an incredible amount of
but
time into them.
trust me, there's a lot of work happening, and it is going to arrive.
When it's
just going
done.
to take some time.
It's one of those things that it gets done when it gets done.
Mm-hmm.
But we have sketch art right now, which is awesome by itself. So thank you again, Corinne Milne. You are awesome. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope we're okay people to talk to, because I know we can be crazy sometimes.
That's what they're here for.
That's true. Apart from that,
I think that's everything.
I have one more thing.
Oh,
Yes. You know, we talked about the last episode about whether it's homage or homage.
Not this again.
What's the third one?
So I wanted to play homage to the late warrior chicken goblin. Goblin chicken.
Chicken Goblin.
Chicken Goblin.
That was on the show. I mean, in the oh my god!
Oh, wow.
I forgot you bought that.
They knew him for a single episode.
Yeah.
All right, you need to bop him on the head. Bop him on the head.
Bop him on the
Push
head.
him down. Push him. No, not forward. Down.
Ah, oh no. No. He belongs in the shop.
Well, that is the stuff of nightmares.
Anyway, the things you find when you're out doing regular shopping and go, yeah, I need to get that. I don't know, what was I thinking?
Yeah, that, and if you start speaking about, random
By the way,
things like
I'm sorry.
chicken goblins on next to your phone, things start popping up.
They are edible.
I
Yeah.
would assume most
Of
things
course
out
they're
of a
edible.
chicken's ass are.
Anyway, sorry. Sorry.
We have a new miniature, by the way. Speaking of nightmares and
Things
shadows.
coming out of a chicken's ass.
Can someone with longer arms handle them showing it to the camera thing? Because I have to
Yes.
basically climb
All right.
Somehow making a 2D image, video quality.
So
into
yeah,
a
up to
3D
the
image.
360 would be fantastic.
Yeah,
much
it
better
is
than mine.
nice.
Even closer, right up to it.
Right up to it.
There you go.
Ah.
Brilliant.
The book, I don't know if they can see it, but the book has
This
faces.
is hard.
The book has faces.
Faces on it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It took 20
Wow.
minutes of dicking around in Hero Forge to get her arm to be at the angle where you can see the book. Like,
Oh.
they're...
This is barely kind of...
Wow.
Showing
Yeah,
it
so
here.
this is one of the, and that's not painted, that's all the...
That is the 3D printing in colored pastel.
But props to Hero Forge, because all of the props on there, like, they've got my lantern, they've got an indicator that I do weird things with souls, like, solid model.
Yeah,
out
and
there.
now we have a miniature. Actually, no, Ek does not have a miniature from Hero Forge yet. Because personally, I like this turtle better. The design is a little different, but I like
And there
this
she
version.
is amidst all her critters.
Yes.
Minus the chicken.
Gotta catch them all, you know?
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Gotta catch
Yeah.
him.
If only I had
Copyright!
On that note, let's get to the intro and get past this horrible sequence of introductions.
That's what they come
Press
here
the button
for.
whenever you're ready.
Okay.
They come here for mediocrity.
I'm ready. Wait.
Oh dear lord.
That was terrible.
Hey, guess what?
Well, we're on.
Wow.
Hey!
Welcome back.
We're on episode 6, part 1
Wow.
of Together.
Yeah, I know. It feels like it's racing by, huh?
I mean, it's been 12 weeks for you poor people.
Ugh. Well, technically one for each friend. What?
Yeah, it's...
At least they're not having to get the. Oh no, we did that every week as well. We did how they rolled every other episode.
Yeah, but, quarantine and all that anyway.
Yeah, it makes it a lot.
Notice we're staying 6 feet apart. There's a gap between us.
Helps for that.
Actually, most of us are actually already
Vaccinated.
Vaccinated.
Yeah.
So.
We were actually vaccinated a long time ago, actually. So. Anyway, but yeah.
So, shall we get to it?
Let's get to it.
All right, let's get to it. So, just a little bit of reminder of where you guys are right now. After finding the hidden city, I went southern there for some reason.
Yeah, found hidden city.
After finding the sunken city of Relia.
Wrong campaign.
You found the hidden the hidden forge city of Hartkern. You toured the city a little bit after crash landing from a rock and a dragon, defeating them in combat, but, finding a doppelganger, finding this and that, finding out that your brother is secretly working for the Empire that is trying to, hunt you down. And then you went to go have a meeting, initially being invited, to the Council of Tempered Thought, the ruling people, essentially, the ruling council of Hartkern. And then you guys got arrested because you found, due to no, this is you, Sparks. This is all you.
I did nothing wrong.
Oh yeah, sure. You have
You didn't do
been
anything wrong, but that doesn't mean you didn't do anything stupid.
exactly.
Fair.
You were quite literally
That's
a
my job.
child with a nuclear reactor known as the Ark of Cogs, going through the city of I'm going to go find
this?
someone to tell me what it is. And you found someone, just not a person that was really,
Hello,
there to
stranger
help
I
you.
implicitly trust.
Yes.
I didn't.
And an intense situation happened, and a shootout happened.
That's an understatement.
He tried to forcibly take this Ark of Cogs from you, failed, and then just tried to, shoot you up and then take it from your corpse. And then you guys busted in, half drunk for some of you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was completely drunk.
That is
I'm sorry, I don't remember any of this.
making fast friends of the town guard.
Too drunk.
And you were apprehended due to having a very powerful device that you did not know exactly what it was at
Guilt
the time.
by association.
Guilt by association, and also having a nuclear reactor in the city.
It's like the guy who finds a
I
nuclear
didn't
warhead.
even know he had it.
That is
That's
true.
my big point.
I don't
You
have
at
hybrid
least
stuff.
had seen it once, and we're like, oh, I don't know what that is.
took it up when we were walking.
If I remember correctly, the first time you saw it, he was holding it up like a parent with a child trying to grab it.
Do you know what this is?
That's right.
Yeah. That was the first time you got a hold of it. Anyway.
It's like the guy who finds a nuke in the wasteland and wanders around trying to figure out what it is.
The Council of Tempered Thought had a little bit of a right to question your motives and why you're here, especially since of your undirected, chaotic nature.
And 2 legendary artifacts.
And, yes.
Lies and slander.
I'm quite directed. I have very specific goals.
You do, but, seeing the other two is like...
I do as well. I'm trying to get my father figure back. I'm just going a very roundabout way.
But, everyone here decided to go the truth method, which actually surprised me.
Surprised me, too.
Yes. And...
What was your wording? Sparks is going to tell
some things were said, and some things were... some information was divulged. Especially a little bit more about each other's history. And personal ties to this group and outside. Due to this truth method, the council made it simple and basically had to decide whether you were worth the risk or not. And thankfully, 4 of them out of the 7 decided to allow you to stay within the cities and not bound and chained and so on and so forth. Because you guys are legitimate, a bit of a risk to the city.
I prefer the term threat.
That is, yeah.
Menagerie.
At the end of this council, you also quickly finished up the trial for Snare, the original reason why you were invited to the council.
Because he's a dick.
Yes. And quickly made it aware that former Templar G Snare did not favor or could not put a capper on his personal opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, what happens outside of work needs to stay outside of work.
So currently in the setting that you're in, you just finished an extensive personal interview with the Council of the Tempered Thought, with the majority ruling in favor of the following. You are currently outside of the main chambers of the council, as you guys have been dismissed, and you are allowed to leave and continue. Being asked, some of you already accepting this, to activate Zed Ark of Cogs. And currently, the one that is currently escorting out of the main chamber as the doors close behind you, as you are now currently in one of the main hallways under this colossal dragon construct that is the Chamber of Steel Rose, is Council Member Query, as he is currently walking just fine with you, as he's currently discussing possible avenues of payment for 1, bringing the Ark of Cogs, and 2, the foreseeable future of activating that Ark of Cogs.
On top of us getting to keep whatever we find inside of the
Correct.
I want hazard pay for being shot.
Inside the Ark of Cogs?
I want hazard pay for being shot.
But the Ark of Cogs is this big. How are we supposed to get inside?
You know how your hole is bigger on the inside?
Your shithole?
Oh!
There you go.
Wow.
I assume there's some way for us to get inside of it that way.
Alright.
You just, you know what? Eck is just...
His head is a bigger on the
college
inside.
freshman who found pot and Doctor Who on the same day.
What?
Whoa.
Suddenly I'm a whole lot more suspicious.
Sorry,
of
we have completely derailed our DM.
No, you haven't, but I was just letting you talk, about, sensitive things like drugs.
This is going to be the episode, I guess.
It's going to be, drugs and fun. That's the episode.
No, God, no.
Do not condone. We do not condone.
No, we do not condone. That is deadly stuff. Yes, we might joke about it, but no, it is not. It's not something you want to do.
Back on track.
If there's a track. So,
Several.
you guys are currently being escorted by Query to his personal his personal office in this essential
Oh, good.
It's a capital building,
If
essentially.
there's one place that I want to activate a large artifact, possibly with world-destroying power, it's inside someone's office. Let's go do that. Point in case.
Damn it. Okay. And they're all D4s too, so...
no, don't nobody get up.
Yep. Councilmember Query chuckles a little bit and goes, unfortunately, no. We are going to discuss your payment. The Ark of Cogs is currently at a undisclosed location, being prepared for its opening and activation.
So would you open it, then activate it? I thought you activate it, then open it.
It's a little bit more complicated. You can only activate it once you're inside this Ark.
We're going in to activate it.
Ah. Oh, open then. Okay, I'm on the same page. I'm good.
This is during when you're being transferred through the halls, as you see the various guards that are currently guarding the area. And the innards are a little different. It's definitely not like a rectangular building. It's very much more fluid in nature, with rectangular rooms, but the hallways themselves are very fluid, following the lines of the actual body of the Colossus steel construct dragon itself. And you eventually find yourself in one of the offices that he begins opening the door, and it's a normal office, but you're immediately hit with fauna and foliage as he opens up the door.
Oh, yeah, come on!
Not that much, as it is maintained and properly...
Do you mean flora, or are there deer running?
I meant flora.
Flora.
Whoops.
I'm hungry.
Okay.
Magic gets weird, you know? Chaos magic.
See, we're on to that debate of...
One day they're plants, the other day they're deer, the next day they're parrots.
Is it homage or homage?
You of all people should understand that could be a gray area.
Definitely. I just wanted to know where the honking was coming from.
The very room itself is pretty simplistic, and the chairs inside are kept away from any actual plant matter and flowers and vine works that are clinging to the outside wall, almost completely overtaken it, almost overstuffed. But very well maintained, very healthy, and pleasant if you're into that kind of sort of stuff. But the furniture itself that is at the center of this room is simplistic but functional. As you guys begin to sit down, it's definitely comfortable, and you're playing with my music again. And directly across this office desk is a window to the outside where you see more outside world, where you see the flowery morgue on the outside of the actual area.
You made this so much bigger of a deal than it would have
There's nothing I
been.
can do about it at this point. I have to sit here and go on.
Wow.
You're going to tell us what you're drinking at least?
It's
Not
no.
sponsored.
Not sponsored. That's right.
I know, that's why I said it. But
It's
anyway.
fantastic they were a sponsor, but they're not a sponsor. So.
No, I don't think this would be a good sponsor. Anyway, as he goes around the desk, as you make yourself comfortable, he opens up the window where you start to hear birds on the outside and begins to water a couple of plants before he sits down. Unfortunately, everyone's passive perception is not high enough. Because you guys have a height of passive perception of 14.
Oh my god.
What's your passive perception?
15?
Oh, I'm sorry. One off. But that does change something.
Oh, okay.
Thank God. Because
In that case.
otherwise, we might as well change
That's
our
right, I
name to be
forgot the level.
Oblivious.
The proficiency bonus changed. That's why it changed.
Yep.
So I need to update my little sheet here. Anyway, so as you guys are making yourself comfortable, off to the left-hand side where a door to this office, which you would probably guess is like some sort of closet door, is completely overgrown with the various vines and leafy plants that are just completely overtaking it. Almost taking it like it's not even there. Whatever, you see the door there, but it's just completely overgrown and has not been open for a clearly long time.
I mean, what, other than plants being in front of it, what evidence is there that it hasn't been opened? Because, like, there's all kinds of magic manipulation of plants and stuff that
That is very true.
So,
part of the reasons why you probably noticed such a thing. Go to make either nature check or another perception check, your choice. Unfortunately, this will not be magic based.
I put this in the wrong spot. Oh yeah, let's do perception. That will go much. So that's a natural 20.
Oh,
Woohoo! First roll on that.
So that's gonna be a 30.
on brand.
What am?
Wow. So that's the +5 plus.
And even if you didn't do go, you would have just done a sorcery.
Yes,
pointed up.
+5
You know,
plus
so-
the +5 house rules.
Yeah.
The homebrew house rules.
Oh,
Where
there it is. I forgot to highlight it.
it's not a guaranteed success, but just an improved opportunity.
It's very lovely in here if you're into that very floral type. They're definitely in bloom, and they've released. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Nicholas,
Okay.
looking around and getting a little bit like, this is a little too much fey for my liking kind of deal. You notice that everything is miraculously taken care of. Mm-hmm. Things have been pruned, things have been cut, trimmed, and maintained so that it's not overburdensome. Mm-hmm. And then that door, as you see leaves on the floor, the plant life is a little less vibrant there. And there's a clear sign through that natural 20 of as if either subconsciously or purposely avoided. Very subtly though, but you pick that up. As a query with his almost like crown-like, stone face that he has that has various plant and moss that has grown into it, that is cracked a couple bit on top, begins to
Isn't he
speak.
also the one who's got some necrotic?
On his right hand, if I remember correctly, that goes up and onto his actual neck and head.
Okie dokes.
Can I do a perception check to see if I notice her noticing the door?
What's your passive perception?
My passive?
Yeah. I know the answer, so I just want you to
Come
say
on.
Sounded like bullshit.
Say it with me.
10.
10.
No. You're currently just like, ooh, this is a nice room, and you hear the birds in the background, you hear a little bit of water, it's like, ooh.
I'm not the
King
one
of
that
average.
you're watching like a hawkbill.
Yeah. So, no. Sorry, bud. As he begins to speak,
Yes.
Hold on.
What? What?
There's a hawkbill turtle.
Sorry, I was...
Hawkbill turtles?
Wow.
Alright.
Wow. Oh, I have a piece of knowledge I must share with you, Drake.
Oh no.
This room has inspired me, but continue.
first of all, he picks up a note that he had underneath himself from various nooks and crannies that normally you don't think so, but he just takes something out of. And it says for you.
Wow, you're just gonna take that with your own hand. Wow. Alright, go ahead.
Well, it came from him.
It came from the one known as Ga.
Oh. But look, he didn't have to say that he was lying. He's...
Help me remember, do you know how to read?
You can read Dwarven, I believe.
I can read Dwarvish and Common. Yes, I can. If it is done in big letters.
That's what it was.
And oh, shoot. This is very small.
So as you begin your reading,
Can I have someone else read this?
No, here.
This is
I've
really
got this
small.
for you. Reach in, pull it, pull it out of my bag, pull out a magnifying lens. It's not that big. Here you go.
Ah, good. Ah.
Goggles of minute seeing.
A beginning lens.
Lens.
glasses of minute seeing, they exist.
Ooh, this is very wordy. I've never seen God write. Well, I've seen him write this much. I haven't seen him talk this much, but
Who's the talking?
Ek, I hope that this message reaches you before
Go on.
my... What is that word?
Incarceration.
Turtle scratch, turtle scratch.
My incarceration, and I hope that you'll read it. I'm doing that right now. I'm very happy that you know that I'm... Wait a minute, that's my inside voice. There are no words that portrays the grief that fills the chambers of my soul. The bottle's grief that fills the chambers of my soul.
This is going to take a while.
For the countless of moons that passed watching you in the screaming silence, I thought in the depth of my mind that I would know when to tell you of my graveness. During the changing of leaves watching, you stride forward without hesitation. I called my brother a fool. A simple fool that with no mind of reproductions, nor sight of the greater image that chased the nearest target in sight. A fool that I can now call myself. Oh, he's talking about himself. With all the shortcomings and uneducated decisions, I now understand your strength. Your strength is no hesitation. The strength of the now. I rolled back my I rolled onto my back like a good pet to its master and did what I was told, hoping for a better life on the other side when there was no other side. You now see me as a foe, a sinner, and a traitor. I accept these titles as it is truth. I will always protect my brothers. I will always bleed for my kin. However, you have showed me the folly of my work. You now demand truth, my heart to our brotherhood, and rightfully so. This is me taking a page from our own book and throwing caution to the wind, as I must now place myself in danger. The time for hiding in the shell has passed. It is time to act without hesitation for those that I care for. My brother...
Very articulate.
He's a bard.
My brother Ek. That's me. This is my first attempt to show you my true self to you as I attempt to mend our broken trust. I am defecting to the warforged nation of Hartkern. I see my physical and political struggles coming their way, and they will need every advantage they can take. So he's looking like he wants to help them. I will carve my grave here to force a better future, knowing that the failure of my means end. I will never leave your side, even if I cannot join it physically any longer. With newfound heart. God. That was nice. I thank you for
He motions
passing
after
this along.
leaning back a little bit as he began speaking out loud. Unexpectedly, he did not expect that to happen. It was nothing. I merely delivered a message that he wrote himself.
Well, I if you can pass along a message from me, and that is, I will see him on the other side, whatever that side is, because there is another side. He said there wasn't, and I know there is. Look, this is my other side. And this is my other side. So there are other sides. He hasn't seen it yet. There are other sides.
I fear that you've only got the surface level of what he meant in that message.
No.
Please don't make him read it again.
I am... Let's move on, yes. As he shakes his head a little bit, he's like, ugh. Right. Your payment. There are two impayments if you decide to continue with the Ark of Cogs. If you accept it. You have accepted yourself on your behalf, but not as the behalf of the group, I'm assuming.
I can not willingly ask them to accompany me in.
I thought everybody agreed. Because you were like, well, I gotta not let him die.
I'll still.
I say that?
Yeah.
You did say that.
I found.
yes.
Oh. You were still drawn.
Might also have had to do with the shiny artifact that you got to go inside of.
Oh, that's a good point.
That sounds likely.
You get to go inside and keep what you find. Oh, I'm in.
Go on,
I
payment.
forgot to print something. Wait, hold on. Please tell me I did it.
Oh, here we go.
No.
Is that feed the applause button?
Oh, it's always that one thing you forget.
It's kind of like that line that's always in the last place you look. Like,
Yeah,
Don't
was it
keep
in the book?
looking after they found it.
exactly. Like, of course it's the one thing you forgot. Everything else, you know that you have it. Like,
I keep looking.
ugh.
That comes to my. I remember. Did you know? Hemingway. What are these? What are these?
Tentacle.
Arms?
She knows everything, just like me. You don't know anything. You're stupid, just like me.
Right.
They're arms.
Sorry.
How does
Okay.
A squid has tentacles. A arm is what actually an octopus has. It does not have tentacles. You can Google it. I dare you.
I apologize. I forgot to bring the blueprints, Red. But I have various other payments if you are more interested in non-gold assets.
Sushi cups.
We have an estate nearby that was
Yeah. Muscles that
mostly supposed to be a retirement house if you want housing, a place to bed down, gather materials, and have, like forging equipment and stuff like that, and also arcane devices that you can place into that are bigger than just being nomadic. We also have the capability of providing outside resources, research and development with our laboratories, since you said you were researching.
Your labs likely don't have what I research with. You research, you do things, you
Well,
invent.
Keep talking.
The research that we have is the research lab of the study of species, study of punishment, and study of viruses. They are the ones that are most suited to what you need.
Unless there's an orphanage next door, you really don't have what she needs.
I mean, punishment is valuable, but the viruses thing, that's a thing
It is a thing.
that we
Those
could
are-
make use of, yes.
That will be on the table then.
Squid heads.
We could also help you with
Hands.
No.
the assistance / apprehension of the leader division of your class. If you decided to go against her.
Say that again.
We could assist in helping in apprehension in the one that is leader of your division of the Exalted Claw.
I doubt that very much. Go on.
You doubt that, but you still want to hear. You doubt that, but you still want to hear.
There are magical secrets that I can assist you with. Me personally, being the most arcane prowess of the group, in terms of the council and also the city itself, if you are interested in that. And there's also something that looking at you at, that you might be interested. The folklore.
Oh.
The lore of the Soulfire Talisman. The specifics would be handed down by a contact that I have, but that would be part of the payment so that you could theoretically get this powerful artifact of...
What exactly are we looking for in there?
Well, we're speaking of payments of the inside the Ark of Cogs.
Yeah.
That will be a different conversation entirely. I can walk you through the process of what you theoretically would find inside.
They're discussing what they're giving us to help them.
So, how much is having brought the artifact worth, and how much is turning it on worth?
That's entirely up to you and what you ask for. If you ask for 10 gold pieces, that's clearly not enough.
I was told there were different types of will.
If you're looking for different types of fuel sources for the Warforged kind, yes, they are available. Do you know which ones you would like?
No, I'm not aware of the ones.
They are risky to use, as they're more experimental.
I believe this is a time where that might be necessary.
Very possible.
Any edge we can get is an advantage I need to take.
You'll be utilizing Steel Will when you go into the Ark of Cogs.
Ah. What am I using right now?
Steel Will is a rather expensive breed. When you go into the Ark of Cogs, there is known as a gear keeper. Gearkeepers have a very strong nature to them, to any constructs in Warforged inside.
What do we have any idea what we're going to face in there?
If we know what we're up against, we can kind of gauge what we need.
To activate the Ark of Cogs, you would need two things. And you hear a knock on the door. Enter. The door opens as he just gestures. And you see the very familiar four-armed caster on the other side of it. Still has the billowing robes with the hood up and the faceplate that is polished and almost reflective. He enters and has some sort of wrapped, long, well, it's about this wide, about 2-3 feet wide, and it's about a good solid foot thick. And he places the heavy thud onto the desk before promptly leaving with a small bow and closes the door behind him. Curry begins to unwrap it, taking a moment to make sure that if anyone would have a problem unwrapping before it continues. And you see a mechanical apparatus out of brass and bronze polish, slightly weathered, and it's folded over on itself of what looks to be a mechanical arm, a very large one in fact, that has been elongated and incredibly built in a way that is, when you get closer, especially with your passive investigation, you can see that each part where you think it's a solid steel is actually interlocking keys. Thousands and thousands of interlocking keys.
Oh.
This is a locksmith. As he undoes it in the hand itself, you can see that each finger is actually keys itself, and you can, as he takes a couple of fingers and puts them together to make additional keys. Wow. This is one of the things that dwell inside the Ark of Cogs. This is how you would be moving through closed doors and changing areas that you need to through certain panels.
This is your expertise.
For one that is an expert of crafting materials, you would need such a knowledge in order to use it and utilize it with precision.
I'll carry it.
Not everyone can go inside and unlock these doors through these things. And he places on the desk in front of him.
It's only an arm, right?
I'm taking a look at it.
Yeah,
okay,
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna start.
It's only an arm, right?
Yeah, it is just
Maybe
the
just an
one
arm.
side of the arm, right hand actually, specifically.
Oh, literally just an arm then, okay.
So, make an investigation check. What are you trying to do specifically?
Oh, I just want to figure it out. Like,
Oh, yeah. It is quite literally, as you pick it up and start to move it around, it is impossibly intricate to the level that you wouldn't even know how to begin to start crafting this, at least by on the surface levels. Possible investigation might lead to additional futures, but from a cursory glance.
So I walk up, pick it up, look at it.
And you notice on the area where the shoulder would attach, you notice that there's additional resources that have been placed to it, where it looks like almost like a leathery glove has been placed into it that has been connected by long pieces of wire.
It's a puppet.
Or something.
In order to control it, you must place your hand on the end of it. It is a little heavy, but that's how you operate it.
Want a hand?
Oh, I really don't like this. Okay, I will put my hand in it.
The glove is on the outside initially, and when you place the glove in, it sucks your arm in. And
I said I didn't want this. Do not want.
And it completely
Cut it off! Cut it off!
as the fingers, it starts going
There's an axe
crazy.
in the air.
Wait.
Just say it 3 times.
Wait.
All you have to say it is 3 times.
I'm good.
You've said it 2.
Oh, that is creepy.
And the keys almost like go inside of it completely, and new keys come out.
I think we're okay.
Are we calling you the Keymaster now?
There's only cool.
Alright, get this thing off.
It's easy now. No attunement is
say so.
required for it. It is quite literally, it takes over the arm. During the case, you cannot really grab anything, but your lock picking skills has advantage. And you have the properties of whatever he said before about interacting with these panel-like things.
You need a magical key. Thinking.
Maybe.
The second one,
Oh, yeah.
we will provide the gateway so that you may enter.
They're the gatekeeper.
We have the access and the knowledge, the know-how of our predecessors in order to open up these gateways to this realm of cogs. The reason why we ask is because more warforged that go in is the greater risk of us being taken over for those that enter. We do not have enough resources to grant all the steel will that is necessary to protect those inside.
Taking over?
The gearkeeper inside can take over forged.
Forged, not constructs in general, just forged.
Constructs and forged alike.
It's important to know.
Good.
So sphere shouldn't come.
Neither can I use my arcane cannon.
So that means
It's
we're only
not
gonna protect
guaranteed
one.
effects, but the lesser the mental powers, the easier it is.
Sphere really shouldn't come.
I think we should really devote all of that to one person.
That is the risk, and that is why your help in this matter is a great value.
Okay, I think I know what my price is. Or do we have to do that negotiate as a group thing?
No, it's. I think it's individual.
Okay. So,
We're not infinite in our supplies.
Well, obviously.
mine are a small request of monetary value and access. I want 3 weeks of access to both repositories of torture and virus. And I mean full access.
Punishment.
Punishment.
It will
Yes.
not be without consequences if you decide to go too far. We must have some regulation.
Define.
You will have full reign of what is provided in that laboratory. There are certain things that cannot leave.
I won't be taking anything. Except knowledge.
In your notes.
Very well.
I have a blink dog, and I would like armor that allows him to teleport.
He thinks for a moment, having his head roll back a little bit. If I remember correctly, everything that it's wearing and carrying can travel with it. Is that correct?
I don't know, I don't have a blink dog sheet. And my DM doesn't like me looking things up online. So, dear DM, is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. Within, it's like if it's grabbing like someone that is 4 times its size, it can't, teleport with it.
It doesn't teleport at all.
It blinks.
It blinks, yeah. But the words that for fifth instance says teleport. Anyway,
Okay. Anyway.
Teleporting's different than blinking.
that can be taken care of, no problem.
Okay. And the last is of you. I want an answer to a single question.
Oh, persuasion check.
Says the forum caster.
No, this is not the forum caster.
I'm gonna reroll that.
What?
Yes, it's a 20!
Which makes it a 30.
Wow.
It's a magical influence, but it's not a spell, so I can't. Anyway,
Magical guidance.
yeah. Another natural 20. I'm going to check that die in a moment.
No,
But it's
don't. We
right
need that
there.
for their cogs. We need that die.
Next episode, there's a dice cam just for her.
It's right there.
A moment
you know
goes
what?
by as
Dice cam.
there's a momentary pause as he's looking you dead in the eyes.
Little fisheye cams.
His little green lights of where the eyes are supposed to be. Very well. But later.
then I am essentially paid.
Before you ask,
Okay.
I have a question for you, F. Are you or used to be a slave of the mining group known as the Sediment Value Mining Corp?
Yes, and I'm curious how you know that.
Theoretically, they're within our lands. This is a borderless, unruled land that we are trying to establish rule
True.
in.
We have moved closer to where I was, yes, which is surprising. I was surprised that I actually said we'll go this direction when it's actually toward where they were at.
I was not part of that conversation.
It's all right.
We can theoretically assist in taking out this mining corporation.
Wow.
Unfortunately, our resources originally were elsewhere, thus you were not able to properly look into it.
Believe it or not, my desires are a little bigger than that. And what I mean by that is not my personal desires. You see, taking out that mine is like stubbing the small toe of the
We
main
understand.
thing that drives that mining operation.
Then
So-
are you after the ebony serpent?
I would have this. Oh, I don't have God to talk to anymore.
It is the pirate organization that dwell and make.
Do I know this? Do I actually?
No, you don't.
No, I have no clue. All right, so I don't know what I'm looking for the heart of whatever controls this, so that we can shut it down.
The ebony serpent. They are a
All
pirate.
right. I
They are
wanna
pirates that dwell in the eastern waves.
the ebony serpent. I better write this down. Ebony serpent.
Ebony, yes.
Ebony serpent. All right. Ebony serpent.
They're a group of pirates that essentially took over the Western Sea on the side of the Rolling Mountains. They have many different subdivisions that handle other business organizations.
So that is my challenge. Is that I would like they are manipulating. It's much like apparently the Tempered Eye is manipulating. Maybe this ebony serpent is a small. It sounds like ebony serpent is nothing like what your organization is.
Do I know anything about the Ebony Serpent?
Roll a history check.
Oh, good. Come on, baby.
That is a natural 20.
3 in a row.
Which makes me a tuition.
Should I just give you guys my, take it? Jesus fucking Christ.
My 20 is a little like it's a little kraken.
Of course,
Oh,
yeah. That's awesome.
Perfect. Wow.
Okay, so the Ebony Serpent is a collective of pirate vessels that dwell within the eastern waves. Their hideout is currently unknown, is currently unknown for most people.
So they're not Brosons.
They're definitely not Verosians. They do occasionally work with various different parts of the Verosian Empire, as the Verosian Empire has, a lot of gray areas when it comes into outside workforces. And the actual mine with that natural 20, the Sedimental Value Mining group, is ran by the Ruby Hand Band. And the reason why they're called the Ruby Hand Band is because of their slave shackles becoming red with blood. They're not exactly a nice group. And it's actually one of the biggest resources in terms of a specific stone that is very handy at mine alteration.
The stone that I was actually mining. So we will talk more on this because it appears that
You two have some overlap.
I don't know if you told any of this
you
information.
might
but-
be.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
All right. The ebony serpent and I'm curious about the Soulfire talisman that you mentioned. Do you know anything about it? What it does? You mentioned something that would be
personally-
something that would be interest to me. You said.
Correct. due to the contact that he waits for a moment and then continues. It is a contact that is currently listening to this conversation as he turns his head to the chirping of the birds. A contact that wishes to know a little bit about you, a little bit more.
Who doesn't?
Get used to disappointment.
This honored guest is not exactly someone to be disappointed.
They all say that. Let's be honest.
Yes.
It's one thing I've learned, Drake. No matter how big of a bully you are, there's always a bigger bully.
I am the bigger bully.
And why do you run?
A bird flies in, lands on the desk. A small little finch that is currently just sitting on the windowsill. Not on the desk, just sitting on the windowsill. And it's weird to have a small little finch just look straight at a single person.
We're gonna explain this one, or
He's currently just looking over his shoulder, kind of like, almost like waiting for some sort of command.
someone want to field this, or am I having soup for dinner?
I feel like you can have soup either way.
Yes,
I'm working on the threads. Like,
that usually means you've lost your lower jaw. Just putting that out there, buddy. It's not good.
Oh, there you go. In almost like a comedic fashion, the beak opens, and you can see it moving underneath those gyrations as a voice comes in. Squeaky. My name is Balvic the Bright Keeper.
Right, keeper.
I am a very old and powerful brass dragon.
Oh!
You're a bird.
In current form, yes, because, sighs as he looks around the room. I have a single question. Why do you smell of deceit? Of manipulation?
occupational hazard.
No. This is the physical embodiment of deceit.
I suppose that's what you get for working with your family.
Right? I would have thought that would have washed off.
I feel like you'd be better at lying if you were the physical embodiment of deceit.
Right? I wouldn't be here, that's for certain.
It's not low key.
He lands on your head.
Keep talking, because
I
I
have
got
a
no idea.
feeling he's a lot bigger than you and will squish you if he changes into form.
Wait, no. Quick lesson in shape changing. He still only has about, he's still very frail in that form, and yeah, if I pop him, he becomes a dragon. But he's in this room under that great big thing. He doesn't want this any more than we do. So why don't you keep the petty threats to yourself, go sit on the desk, assume a form we can talk to, and maybe we can figure out what the hell you want.
Roll a intimidation check, because that is
Don't
intimidation.
care.
He's trying to intimidate a brass
You
dragon.
bet I am!
It's a finch.
I'm saying, it's a bird. Like, everyone's real freaked out for I don't know
14?
why.
14. Still sitting on your head as you just see the tail of this small little colorful finch
Yeah, no,
that
it's a
is
finch.
currently just kind of... It is weird to feel this finch step onto you. If you've ever had a bird on you, it's kind of like hoppy kind of deal and kind of constantly moves around. This one is perfectly still. As one eye is currently just looking down on you.
He's not trying to play a finch.
Cute. What's in your pocket?
You're gonna have to be a little more specific.
Takes a moment. You don't know.
Possible.
What's the
Do me a favor. That pocket over there.
Uh-huh.
Right pocket.
Yep.
Open it up. If you'd be so kind.
Keep talking, then what?
I want to know this smell. The smell of a green dragon.
What? The...
I got no idea.
What do you have in your pocket?
Would you get off my head? Seriously.
No.
You are now a perch.
I'm gonna pop me a canary.
Green,
How far
green
am I
dragon?
within 30 feet of not being in this room?
I mean, the door's right there. The room itself, it's only about, I would say about 30 feet cubed. So,
Alright, no, sure, absolutely, shit. What the hell?
so he opens up, the pouch that you open up. Where do you keep that green tea leaf that you found from the doppelganger?
Oh, that's in the satchel.
Oh, that's in the satchel.
God!
Because he,
Oh my God! We've been duped! Oh
shut
my
up.
God.
Yeah.
So he guides you to wherever that is.
Yeah. Phew.
And now that you're looking at it in actual daylight, it's not a normal tea leaf, or it's not a normal leaf.
It's a
And-
scale.
It is a scale.
Oh,
And the thing about green dragons, their scales can very much look like certain leaves. The beak touches it and flies off and goes to the window and kind of pokes. Very cute, like, just hitting it with the with his tip of his beak. Looks back at you.
You got a name?
Balvic.
You don't have the whole title?
Balvic the Bread Keeper.
The Bright Keeper.
Oh, I super thought you said Bread Keeper the first time.
Bread keeper.
Bright keeper, yeah.
The Finch's voice
actually wrote
is
Bright Keeper.
tiny and cute and adorable. I can't exactly change everything about a physical form.
Nope. Bread Keeper now, it's canon. Alright, keep going.
He bakes the bread. He's the heater.
The second one is more of a headache. And as he turns his head a little bit. What is your relations to the loudmouth Devon?
Loudmouth Devon?
The one that goes by the name of Stalk. Or Stilk.
Oh,
Apparently we've been getting his name wrong, by the way, Query.
the guy who shot me?
The guy that shot you.
He was a shopkeep that I went to go ask questions about the artifact I found.
That may not be all. I just don't have an answer to the question.
You're joking, right?
I'm not.
He's
Son of a
spouting
bitch.
quite a number of questionable things.
Oh, well, yeah.
So wait, you knew the guy who shot me?
No, I didn't. Shut up.
When were you going to tell me this?
Hopefully never.
Have you met him?
Why? What is he saying? Oh, let me guess. I'm the doppelganger.
The guy shot me.
Yes, who hasn't?
You
Actually,
haven't.
about amongst the very other things, you're supposed to be dead, you do not exist, he buried you many years ago. Amongst the being a doppelganger and or a flesh skin. Though you do not smell of one, but you did smell of deceit. Still wasp over you, but that could be who it is. Holding one birdie paw with the green scale.
Honestly, I got no idea on this one. Clearly, I should go talk to him.
Please do not do it in public.
He might shoot you.
He flies off.
Who hasn't?
I haven't. Neither of us have. None of us have.
Well, he doesn't shoot. That's not fair.
Doesn't even try to hit him though.
So, you just lost this item.
Oh, no.
Well, it happens.
Yep. We didn't know we lost it anyway.
It was a scale of deceit.
Scale of deceit. After a few moments, Query begins to speak. Well, that was interesting.
Nothing about our payment.
No, that's... no. No. That was more of an unplanned visit from
Borderline deity.
landlord.
Ah, that makes sense.
Ah.
A lot of dragons live here, and to
Yeah.
live in their land, you have to have permission from them.
We met one.
Has to be a lizard. Go on.
We met
Very,
one.
very big lizard. He would be the one that would be fulfilling the payment of the talisman.
Hey.
I didn't get to ask him what the talisman is or does. All right, fine. I'll
What do you want to manifest of what he has to offer?
Shopping must be nice, menu.
Well, how does one get into this ball?
We will be handling that. The Ark of Cogs would be tomorrow evening. It would be ready,
Two things.
as we are currently setting it up for proper activation.
Okay, I need two things then. Three things. One. I'm assuming I'm the only person getting steel will.
Correct, as it is a fuel source of the forge. I doubt they would survive the process of digesting it.
Probably. Two. Four things I should probably. One. It's still on the wheel.
1.5.
One. I'm assuming I'm only getting steel will.
Your wayward numbers is astounding.
I woke 4 years ago. Bite me. I want access to other wills.
Very well. We shall assemble, specifically the ones of my household. Do you have a specific one that you're interested in?
And how many are there?
Too many. Think
Okay.
of it as potions.
Gotcha. Okay.
We can make certain types that are specific for the forged. So,
Well, let's go with the selection of 5. And the
I'll
fire.
bring a
Something that would
separate-
help me in the.
I
there.
do not know which ones that we have at hand, but I will bring a sampling course of different types of fuel.
Cool. 2. Do you have any way and access to true resurrection?
True resurrection. How old is the body? I do not, but
I don't have a body.
do you have any of this person?
I have a very sentimental item from them that has probably been covered in their, I don't know, touch. They wrote in it constantly for years. Probably blood in it, cried in it, sweat.
We need some sort of body parts. Hair, even. A piece of bone.
Probably somewhere
Or
in the
their
book.
ashes.
I haven't sifted through the book in a long time, so. Well, I mean, actually, I could probably go back. Well, the issue is the body was turned through necromancy, and we had to burn it.
Unfortunate. How long ago was this?
6 months.
Unfortunately, too old. Speaking of which, has anyone suffered casualties due to the crashed vessel?
Not
No,
us, but there
I don't
was
think we lost any hands, did we?
During the crash, no.
there was one that had their head turned into a canoe.
That was the doppelganger.
We will not be resurrecting the doppelganger.
3 people went down during the fight, and then the chicken.
The chicken.
The chicken?
Chicken. Get a feather.
I have a feather and a skull.
There you go.
I
I
whistle
can
for
bring.
my conch.
Well, not me. My method will not help you.
Then perhaps you can tell me a direction that would help me with this issue.
Model can help you. Council member Model.
Did he vote for us or against us?
He vouched for
He'd
you.
work for us, so good. And lastly, I need a weapon.
What type?
Something that could outmatch this guy.
As you pull out your curved blade that has brass rings on the back of it.
Or maybe something a little more extravagant than the shield.
We do have Warforged technology that enhances and also integrates itself into your arms, if that is what you're sought after.
Mm.
As he takes a moment and glides his hand across it, and you see a little bit of pollen falling from his hand that seems to hit with small little beacons of green light.
This sword has served me well. In fact, it was the same sword I used to, unfortunately, slay the person I'm trying to get back.
My condolences.
I got it after I... Yeah. That's right. Sentimental.
That was a tough thing you did.
So
Still going.
So your payment is a better weapon and some sort of resurrection spell that we cannot provide.
Effectively. Or information that can direct me into wherever I can find said resurrection abilities.
Well, if you're asking about the talisman at the same time, perhaps you should ask the Bright Keeper.
He or she flew away.
You would be guided to
All right.
his lair.
All right. After we, this is after we turn on the cog, or now? This would be before or after.
I have a feeling that he would be indisposed at this time.
Right.
until
I
further
thought so.
notice.
I thought
He's
so as
dealing
well.
with that thing.
So, we have to wait till tomorrow to get this thing going. I'm ready now.
I need at least an hour.
Need at least an hour?
I think it's going to take him more than an hour for them to even get it ready to open.
Fine.
We're currently working across the clock in order to get it up and operational as quickly as possible due to the extraordinary circumstances that was brought to us.
Once we turn this thing on, all right, fine. We get things for us. That's not the important part for me. What's in it for you?
Younglings.
We activate the Ark of Cogs, we further our nation.
To
I can
further
relate to
explain,
this.
it does two things. It provides an incredible, extraordinary amount of power. One of these is currently powering the entire city itself. All the factories, all the lights, all the powered weapons, everything.
So I'm assuming the big cannon out front runs on that too.
We can only choose one, the city or the cannon.
During a wartime, when you need to run the cannon, you're not running the city in the first place. Understandable.
Correct. We have one, and now we have a second. This will allow us to make another city.
That makes sense why he was
And
running the
this
dragon.
will create great concern for the Varosian Empire.
Correct. If they knew we had it.
Hopefully they
What
don't.
do you mean for?
So, do you know where I picked up the Ark of Cogs?
The second thing, before you continue, is the Golra. This Ark of Cogs, as you brought up in the past, asking if there are souls in it. This is debatable. This is where the very meaning of where a soul is oriented before the child gets its soul from a parent, or before it gets the soul from somewhere else. The nature of a soul is very complicated and also theoretical on where it originates, where it comes, and where it's forged. We cannot make new younglings without the Garva that comes from the Ark of Cogs. It gives us our symbols as he taps his forehead, where a primordial symbol is etched into.
Do I have the same symbol?
You do,
Yeah.
underneath your helm.
Is it the same or is it a symbol?
It is each, from every Warforged you've seen,
It's a bookmark.
that shows their face physically. Each one is specifically different. It's like a thumbprint.
Makes
So
sense.
that's, yeah. Without this Garlos symbol of truth, symbol of life, there is no forged. Just an empty husk.
It's effectively animated armor at that point.
Correct.
I can relate to this. Alright, let's crack this egg.
On that note, while we're here, I'm gonna open up my book. Do you have anyone who I can take this to hopefully extract some sort of material from it that I can use in a resurrection case? before I further taint it with the various battles that I am going to inevitably enter.
He sticks his hand out.
This is the only thing I have left.
And I am in this room with you. Flicks through it.
He was a little fanatical, and quite the inventor.
He laughs a little bit.
He originally sent me to the capital of the Varosian Empire to try and find someone. But instead I came here after running into Templar G.
Puts his fingers on top and bottom of the actual book itself and it expands it and unfolds it.
Oh.
As you see a massive tome in front of you now.
Well, shit.
Wow. Did you know it did that?
Do I look like I knew how it did that?
No.
Where did you say you got this?
My father figure.
Does it look familiar?
No, it does not. It looks like a very expensive notebook.
Oh,
Just checking! Make sure we don't have two of these things.
I was told.
It's the second MacGuffin.
I was told.
Like, oh no!
I was told to be very careful with who I showed it to. So
You see him going through the pages.
If only you'd been told that with the Ark of Cogs.
I found it in an abandoned dwarven vault. What am I supposed to think? It's valuable. I knew that.
It's kind of like Russia. We lost a few nukes.
Yeah, that's about right. How do you lose a nuke? It's like, well, I mean, America lost 1895 for
Yeah, and
30
a few
years.
tanks and stuff like that. It's like, And he takes a few moments as he passes one page after another. You're past an investigation. This is a proper...
Passive, nothing.
Yeah. Well, okay, roll an investigation check, yeah. You guys are all there and he's opening it on the desk right there.
Pardon me.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yeah, I'm super not involved in any of this. I'm just like, oh,
This
good.
is very much
more
up
of
your
his
alley.
backstory. And
16.
16? Okay. He's flipping it through it as a cursory glance, so he's not stopping too much and is not allowing to actually dive into the information. But a cursory glance gives extensive research, development, and experimentation involving the forged body.
He found me.
Warforged.
He found
And
me
also
original
specifically formulas to recreate the actual fuel source of the forged.
He found me, took me in, and basically rebuilt me and gave me a purpose.
This is a very completed set of how to make a warforged body. And include...
Question. You said that he's a father figure,
Correct.
but you also just described what happens when someone restores an antique clock. What's the difference?
What is the difference between a child and also a doctor?
Knowledge?
Correct.
Okay, but the familial connection. Never mind.
So,
I think the connection is just fine with that
do you think it's possible, Sparks, that perhaps some of your father's essence can be forged into a body?
He was studying them fanatically. If anything, that's probably the best way to bring him back.
There has been unusual circumstances of taking a organic soul and placing it into a construct.
He was always scorching himself.
It's not much difference than what you are, right? You are some sort of soul. You are a living entity. You are not just a mechanical machine.
They are called collectors. The Codell dynasty perfected that.
The ones that went mad?
Initially, historically, yes, but they are not mad as a people. They were just able to...
I remember reading the archives. Or reading parts of them. The books.
From the Russian Empire.
Not from, no. Just the ones I had access to, which delved into a lot of history.
The Codell dynasty specialized in void magic.
That's what I remember that.
By itself is a menacing concept, as you must know how to speak the language of the void.
Chapter 12.
The very physical embodiment of nothing. It defies definition.
Chapter 16.
They were able to put souls from the battlefield and put them into golems. These golems are called collectors. And everything that they kill, they're able to raise the ghost of the dead that they collect. Theoretically infinite amount of them. They are not a nice thing.
Okay.
Well, shall we all prepare for tomorrow's adventure?
What is your payment?
You want to get rid of that book?
No, I don't. That's the problem. My payment. Well, we'll take the manor house with the lab and the library and all that attached to it. Yes?
Very well.
Well, you were easy.
What, seriously?
No. That's just table stakes because for us to have somewhere to go.
The house shall be finished within 2 days. It theoretically is not complete, but after mass fabrication, they'll be done.
Excellent. For me, specifically, I have a couple of needs, and you can figure out which one you can fulfill. Which one of several. The first is that my squishy companion here.
Holding him just like that.
Exactly.
And you can see just the eyes. As it's not a comfortable position to be held.
His connection to this reality is a tad more tenuous than I'd like. Resummoning him and keeping him around is, well, there's a whole lot more in here that could be pulled out of the other realms. Something along those lines would be nice. Second, my own ability to acquire and harness resources within, pull out the guns, is somewhat tenuous. I have a very small, limited amount of things that I can do every day, and if you have something that would help that out, I'd appreciate it. Third, I'd like a lab assistant. I don't get enough time to create my constructs, finish projects, do long-term horizon type stuff. I'd like someone who I will happily teach, but someone's, plural, to make gear.
You're willing to teach your side of the way of the artificer.
If they can follow along.
We are the nations of Forge. It is how we make our children.
And it seems I have something to offer.
I've got a lot of information in the book, as I stuff it back in my bag of holding. Or not my bag of holding, in my chest, because it's technically
Roll a general
an object.
persuasion check. As you are asking for a lot.
This is not a pocket dimension, right? It's just a book of folding.
It's a book of
Add one to
folding.
that.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I just put it in the bag of holding. It'll be fine.
Yep. That's why it never exploded.
Is that really?
I mean, I did pull
Three.
it out of the bag of holding, but
Ouch.
Was a 2.
Well.
You said to add 1.
So, finishing your list of demands.
Which was what, 3 too many?
oops.
They can provide resources so that you can refuel yourselves. The familiar, as a forward payment,
Valet.
I will give you this familiar, this greater familiar, along with how you can complete the ritual. This will be your payment for activating the Ark of Cogs.
Fair enough.
He flicks his wrist, and a tome falls onto the desk as the book immediately opens with a gesture of the hand, as pages and pages and pages and pages fly by, until it stops on a single one.
Drake reaches in, pulls out a little gadget, takes a picture.
The great thing about artificers, once you know a spell exists, you can make it happen.
Great.
There's a lot of text on
There's
that
a lot
paper.
of text on that one. It's a spell.
And your passive investigation, you know that there are other ways to either further enhance your familiar. That would, instead of what it provides there are other options as well that we can discuss on
Sure.
behind the scenes.
I'm reading. Keep
Yep.
going. Yeah.
Your payment is fulfilled. The talisman and also the resurrection shall be brought up with the Bright Keeper.
I like the option.
He will make the dates on when you can meet him.
And the weapon?
The weapon, we shall provide several weapons to see which ones you fancy with.
And the will?
The will?
So.
That will be provided as you are entering it, so that you are not lost to the cogs.
Appreciate it.
I'd really like to know whether or not we have side effects.
And now for the final payment. What is your question, Nicholas Naquis?
What's behind the door that causes you to avoid it?
As if
Zoom, 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 zoom.
There's a door.
as if forcibly having to look at it. Looks over to his right side. Regret.
Yes, and?
If you wish to find out, you may enter.
I'll hold the door for you. Where is it?
Simple explanation will not be sufficient for what you desire.
Alright, I'll go in.
He does a cursory casting, and the vines wither and die and fall to the ground, revealing the closet door that has clearly have not been maintained or opened in a very long time.
It's a closet?
It's what you can guess is a closet door. It's just a door to another place, but since it's the only other door apart from the exit, offices,
Small door.
Go in.
You open the door. Small little hallway, maybe 5 feet inwards, to a walk-in closet with only one thing inside of it, on top of a small little bookshelf, which is a sizable tome.
Okay. I pick it up and open it.
You open it. Very dusty, first of all. And going to roll a Arcana check to see how much you can decipher from it.
I'm just going to stick my head in.
What's going on in there?
Just...
Right? So, Three Stooges
That
style,
is a
head,
third
head, head.
20. I didn't do any. You can check.
Are you serious?
3 in a row. For you.
No. I got a 4 in the middle.
Does that
of
die
I
have a
was able to
name?
reroll.
Does that die have a name?
Yeah.
It's my autumn one.
You got to name that die now, because that thing is...
3 20s in a roll.
Woo!
Well, ish.
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. Accurate. Well, playable.
Yeah. So as you go from page to page to page, and this is a very old tome, and it's clear that this old tome has seen battle, as a little bit of the edges are scorched. There's a blade scratch across the actual surface of the tome itself, and it's just layers upon layers of different stories of dirt, grime, battle, and war. With the natural 20, this is probably his older spell book. As you go from spell after greater spell after greater spell, and then something catches your eye as amongst the various notes amongst it, as this book has not been opened in years. A single line followed by a list of hundreds of names, of soldiers' names and positions. The Trial of Dread. As you go page after page after page of hundreds of soldiers, and immediately afterwards, immediate scrawling and frantic writing of a mental madman. With that natural 20, what is your total Arcana check with the +5 bonus?
Lower than it should be. 26.
26. Okay. with a DC 25, you see the beginnings of a 7th level spell, many of them, a lot of them, followed by 8th and 9th level spells that dwell in the mass death. And these are not just spells, but incantations and rituals of mass proportions that are almost mind-boggling to even comprehend. And you notice that each one is nearly complete, which sets you off a little bit. Each one, 8th and 9th level spell, and then started to go citywide castings, perpetual theories of hidden lores that should not be remembered. Each one is this close from completion every single time. Spell after spell. Not at the same spot, but various different spots. The hardest part of the equations of the magical casting is complete and ready to go. And yet, he did not finish it. I'm going to roll an insight check.
I'm guessing he probably just remembers the finishing part of the spell, so that no one can read it and steal his book,
I'm going to re-roll that.
Mm-hmm.
and then get all the spells that he has.
Nope. The opposite.
Uh-oh.
Citywide casting.
So that is a 6.
6? Okay. You're not
Was that a
sure
one?
if it's intentional or not.
This is a natural one.
Oh, natural 1. Okay. So, unfortunately, you are not quite sure on terms of the reasoning behind why these massive citywide spells of destruction and necromancy. So much necromancy. That each spell that he has that round in this rather scary tome remains one equation, one, cursory glance to complete it, but yet he did not complete it for each and every one.
Okay, so with magic working a little different for sorcerers.
But you got a natural 20, so you know. Yeah.
Right, but like, I don't understand the implications of what is very clearly a big deal.
Okay. Sorcerers, they just know it innately.
Right.
Wizards, they have to, like a mathematician, they have to, I want to do this. Okay, how do I do that? And they begin to mathematically write out the actual spell itself in order to complete it and cast it and have it happen. The mathematician essentially left one part so that it could not complete the equation.
So basically he has, 99% of a spell in the
Correct.
spell book.
For
But
each
he doesn't,
and every one.
Okay. But he does have a big old list of dead people.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you see?
It's a book.
It's a book, Ak.
What's in the book?
All right. Is it a good book? Does it have a good story?
Pictures?
Pictures?
It's
Is
not
it color?
one that you would enjoy.
That doesn't answer the question.
Correct. And with that, I close it, set it down, walk out, close the door. Y'all are nosy. Turn back to query. And say, why leave them incomplete?
Fear, mostly.
But you had already done so much.
Yes. Sometimes, a lot of times, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Is this a matter of honor for you? Or a matter of retribution?
Self-inflicted punishment.
Who does that benefit?
Well,
Punishment?
that's a question I can't answer.
You're punishing yourself by not finishing your spells?
You don't
So
even know their spells.
I think that
You don't know this.
Not finishing your book?
Come. Payments have been completed. I thank you. We will see each other tomorrow night. Just approach the Chamber of the Steel Rose, and you will be escorted to the location that is yet to be disclosed, where the Ark of Cogs will be readied and prepared for your eventual activation from the inside. The house shall continue with construction. We will speak on the details on what you desire. It is a 2-storied manor, about 150 feet wide and roughly 120 feet, 150 feet by 120 feet, roughly.
That's huge.
Not a lot when there's a big thing in the middle.
I know. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm big. I'm sorry.
I think I'm bigger.
It has a pond at the center of this building.
Oh, all right.
Pond?
Whatever.
It's more of a greenhouse. At the center is a pond/pool/thing, and there's plant life around it. Or will be.
Pond. I heard pawn, as in, but a pond.
Pond with a D.
Oh, excellent. Haha. I like ponds. I like them a lot. This is very nice. I cannot wait to... Wish I could look at the little ball and go, I'm going to get inside you. I'm going to get inside you. I'm going to push your buttons. I'm going to make you do my will. What?
I tried that, and it tried to pull me into it. I wouldn't recommend it.
All right, fine. Come at you from the other side.
That's not how that...
Just like God doesn't realize there's another side.
That's not how that works. Not how that works.
Huh. You're too complicated. You just need to simplify things.
Where are we sleeping?
It is up to you.
We can go back to our cells.
I think you're actually more complicated than I am.
I'd rather go back to the field where the dog and I slept.
You're afraid to roam.
Remember when you were super drunk in a tent?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
curious.
gonna go back to that
Easy enough.
spot. As I walk out, I take essentially from the entering the closet on, and that is going to be condensed into what looks like a matte gray memory, and put that into my lantern.
Easy enough. How many memories do you have at this time before you...
I had just sent them back.
Right.
So
Right.
this is actually the first one.
Correct. I'm just trying to keep
Yep.
how many you have in there. All right. So, at this point, I forgot to press the timer.
Don't worry, I have it. It is 92.
Not bad. So, unless you have any other questions or inquiries or additional things you want.
I have an overnight thing that I'm going to do because it's the thing that I said that I needed to do.
Okay.
I'm unattuning to my gloves of missile snaring and attuning to my shard.
Easy enough. And right now it's currently at most 2 o'clock in the afternoon. As you guys had the meeting and then had another meeting, and now you're currently going your way based on promised payments. Yes.
I say, let's stay out of trouble. Let's just keep our heads low. And we do very little to upset.
Perfect.
And we do very little to upset the norm in this location. And that way, when tomorrow comes, no one has anything to say to us that isn't good
I
luck.
could very easily spend a day building out resources and things.
I'm curious about the wheels. I'm gonna see if I can find those, or
The
ask
wheels?
the person about the different wheels in Sal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We get more in-depth information about that, so I can choose which one that he has so I can be a bit more informed before the
So
jump.
yeah, he would basically tell you after he basically sends a couple messages spelling based on what he has for inventory in order to, one, that
Make it.
works with your design.
And make it.
Yes. Well, no, it's already made and stuff like that.
What's the
To
word?
make it, making a potion, it takes a while. Okay, so he has Rage. It essentially sends you into a flying rage for the next hour. It allows you to attack as a bonus action. One melee, additional melee weapon attack. And then at the end of it, you have to make a Constitution saving throw or suffer 1 exhaustion point. It also has a suicidal effect of if you die,
You boom.
go boom. It was one of the unfortunate favored tactics during the time of the War of the Burning Lands.
Makes sense.
For the Warforged, it is one of those taboo kind of things. However, it is available due to extraordinary circumstances where...
Which is starting the Ark of Cogs.
Exactly.
It's kind of understandable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine throwing a Titan on that.
There you go.
Boom.
It has been done.
Let's talk about a nuke.
It's known as Glory and Death. The next one that he would have provided is Steel Will, which he's going to be giving you. It gives you advantage on wisdom saving throws for 1 hour.
Need that.
Yeah.
So need that.
That is being provided. The next one is going to be, it's called the Pink Rose. The Pink Rose gives you advantage on death saving throws.
I already think we have advantage.
Those that don't have it, and you don't have advantage, you just have,
Plus 6.
Yeah.
Or plus a d6.
Plus a d6 because you're brutish.
Same, yeah.
So it would give you advantage plus a d6, and then if you get a 20 on top of that, well, if you roll a total of 20, you get back up. So.
I mean, I have 4 cells available, so I can have a few of them.
There's another one known as Rush. It gives you haste for the next hour.
Wow.
Yes. And then you for the next 10 minutes, you are stunned.
Okay. Can I just get this built into the side so I can just flick it when I want to hit each one?
Mentally, you can actually activate certain parts of your body. That's how it goes for the wolf.
Just go into the software. And click
At
them all when I need
most,
them.
he says you can only put 2 in your body apart from your normal, cell. That's what he recommends because if you replace them all 4 slots, that's going to cause problems in terms of rasping tar.
Right. Well, I only really need 1 of the primary cells. Standard cell, right?
Correct, but you'll run into the same. Yeah. Correct. But he does not recommend activating them all at once. At that point, he explains that you're going to have to start making Constitution saving throws or fall unconscious and outright have a heart attack and die.
Drake,
Steel Will and Rage.
Understood.
if I recall, which I don't, you owed me a drink?
I do owe you a drink.
Do
You
want a
find
drink?
yourself back at the Grappled Grove, by the way, if you're looking for that.
Do you want a drink? Hello?
I am so far gone. Like, you guys. I went to
Where'd
my
she go?
I find
Hello?
I never actually want to know the answer to that question. Let's go to the bar.
We need to put a bell on her.
The Grappled Grove is what you're looking for, and you find it no problem as people point you in the general direction. Actually, you have a sense of direction. just
I
fine.
was sober leaving there.
Yeah,
so,
you have a sense of direction.
You know where you're going.
We have to fix that.
So I am in my tent. I am doing puppy training. I bought a badger to feed the plant. Like I'll take off a gold or what? Or no, that was a silver. But
It's actually pay whatever you want for if the tent is free kind of deal. They're very chill there.
no, I went to the breeder dude and
Oh, yeah,
bought
yeah,
a
yeah,
badger to feed the plant. which
Yeah, and
costs-
you already paid last time, if I remember correctly.
I'm buying another one.
Oh, in that case, take another
Silver.
silver, yeah.
To feed the plant.
To feed the
So
plant.
as we're walking away to the
You don't want me feeding it smarter things, so I don't know what you're mad
I just send it past us. It'll be fine.
Where'd Johnny go?
So you ran away. You actually ran away.
I know. It was a sensible thing to do.
Same here. I did it too.
I
As we're
didn't have a
walking-
choice.
walking-
Just,
down the
we sort of walked into this madhouse of robots who think they're going to take on the entire Brosian Empire.
Excuse me?
Not robots.
Not metalheads, tailpipes. I'm sorry. What's the
Forged.
Forged.
is that the okay
The
forged?
preferred vernacular is
Crazy forged who decided that they're going to stand up to the Brosian Empire. I don't like the manor house is very nice. It's assuming it's not going to be a crater in about 10 minutes.
There's a thing we have. There's this thing we have
Right.
that they've never had before. You know what that is?
What?
An
Drinks?
inside man.
You mean
Wink.
God? You're doing something funny with your face. I don't understand. Is this some kind of tour?
You're the fucking inside man, all right?
Oh!
Ah, god damn, bugs are big in this town. Slap you across the face. There's one on your face.
Ass. What's my drink?
Nosebleed. So yeah, there are a number of brewing masters in this town that you find one of them and start doing a booze crawl if you so desire.
A brouhaha.
No.
Unless there's anything else apart from the puppy training and anything else, the day comes to a crawl and becomes nighttime, and you eventually find a place to rest wherever you are at.
We still have an inn. Like, don't we have that hut place?
Yes. Yes,
the
we
Grapple
do.
Grove.
That is where
That's where we're headed.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Let's stumble drunkenly into that at 2 in the morning.
And it's best for that kind of situation. You don't know which tent you climb into, but you climb into a tent.
Nicholas screams.
Before I go to bed, I would like to set up my guard dog.
Make sure you didn't load the plant up on a tripwire.
Yes, you
That's
did.
just it. All you gotta do is have it swing and hit someone.
It has feelings. I wouldn't do that to it.
Yeah, yes, but its feelings are wee.
I wasn't gonna say you guys
The
stumbled
inertia
into
of
Nicholas
its limbs
necklaces.
get wrapped around the head.
Yeah, but since you were perfecting the plan, make a perception check real quick before we end. You guys ran them into some other tent.
14.
14?
I used up all of the controls and I'm fine with it.
Yep.
It's okay, we got tomorrow.
You do notice, I will give it this one. You do notice that the plant is ever so slightly bigger, as if it grew.
It's got sort of a head with it looks something sort of like a mouth with lips at the front end.
No, it's more like the petals have become thicker, and there's an additional layer of like smaller black petals that are starting to sprout at the base of it, and the actual stem of the plant has become entangled with more vines.
In Sylvan to the plant. I swear to God, if you eat me, I am going to shred you.
Are you being intimidating or are you being persuasive?
I am being
He's stating a fact.
informative.
And yeah, roll either intimidation or persuasion.
Whichever's higher.
Yeah.
My
I think for her,
intimidation is
I think
much higher.
Understandable. Says the one who absorbed the shadows of
That's a
herself.
28.
28. The plant, even though it's still inside of the chamber that you have for a backpack and all that, kind of goes. It's kind of just almost like a turn. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it knows where its badgers come from.
Small pile of bones at the base of it for like afterwards kind of deal.
The calcium. It's crunchy.
With that, as you guys enter your slumber state,
Silver state.
some of you sleep, some of you don't sleep, some go into a meditation. So
This is a very weird group, but we're in the menagerie.
yeah. You find your puppy, you play with the puppy, train him a little bit. It goes mixed. Yeah. However, he loves the open doors. Doesn't like the plant though.
Me either.
Yeah. And for now, we're going to take a small break. So I hope you enjoyed that little meeting, everyone. And I hope you join us next time
Oh my
as
god,
you guys.
next episode's gonna be nuts.
Yeah,
A lot of battle.
Oh.
you guys are
We've
about to
done
enter
2
the.
episodes without a fight though. Like we're due.
We have. Well, the last one was the
I got
airship.
2 maps behind me. I wanted to build a third, but
The last
I'll
one
get
was the
by.
airships. There's
They're
gonna be a lot of
insane.
fights.
They're freaking huge.
Bring it up.
Just because it went quick doesn't mean the doppelganger wasn't a fight.
This is true.
that is
Yeah,
true.
Also,
I haven't-
there was your whole,
He rolled-
hey buddy, what's this artifact fight? Just because you didn't pull out your weapon doesn't mean it's not a fight.
He shot me. He was in a fight. I was just standing there asking questions.
I broke shit. We
I
were
didn't
fighting.
think you were going to find him that early, specifically. I just had, like, if you roll below a certain number and it's
Find
not
him
like a
accident.
true failure, you find someone, but you don't find the guy that's really going to help you, kind of
I'm
deal.
going to help us get where we need to go, I guess.
Yeah.
So it worked out in the end. Anyways,
Anyway, so we're going to end there. I hope you enjoyed another episode of Together We Roll. This one was fun, and you all got paid in some way, shape, or form that actually
Well,
didn't involve
ethereally
money.
we did.
Moment.
Well, you got, assets and stuff like that, and
Hey,
knowledge and other stuff like that.
we're the Silver Menagerie. We're a bunch of misfits. And the thing about silver is it tarnishes easily.
Yes, it takes a lot of polishing.
It's okay. We'll
On
shine
that
eventually.
note-
Must be rough.
Eventually, we will shine.
On that note, we'll see you next time. Stay healthy, stay safe, and keep on rolling, everyone.
Join us next time on
Bye-bye.
Together We
Bye.
Roll.